You're listening to Faith, Stewardship, and Insurance, Protecting Texas Churches. The show that gives pastors and church leaders the clarity they need to protect their people, property, and ministry.
Welcome back to Faith, Stewardship, and Insurance, Protecting Texas Churches. I'm your host, Ron Wadley with Insurance for Texans. We help church leaders protect their people and property with wisdom and clarity. Today's episode is for church leaders who have always wondered what church insurance typically covers. Annie sits at her worn oak desk in the front office of a historic church in the heart of Fort Worth. The air smells like old hymnals and floor wax. As the church secretary, Annie is the one who makes sure the potluck sign-up sheets are out and the pastor's calendar isn't a mess of double-booked weddings and funerals. But today, she's working on the church's budget. One of the line items sticks out to her. It's the church's property insurance. The premium has increased by $12,000. She knows that the extra $12,000 a year means the youth mission trip to Mexico is not going to happen this summer. She picks up the phone and calls the church's current insurance agent to better understand the price increase and find out what insurance their church actually needs. He's the head guy at a big corporate office in Dallas and sounds like he is reading from a script when he answers the phone. The market just is what it is. Everyone is paying more and your coverage is fine. That's when Annie decides that it is time for a change. She picks up the phone and calls us at Insurance for Texans. As she digs into the fine print of the renewal, she spots a term that she doesn't completely understand: actual cash value. She finds out that ACV means that if the church sustains major property damage, the insurance company would only pay for the depreciated value of the structure instead of the actual replacement cost value. Annie realizes that the church would have to pay the difference out of pocket in order to restore their structures properly. She also learns that they need a comprehensive commercial property insurance package that covers both the church building and the property that's inside. But it's the specialized items that really worry her. Annie thinks about the expensive sound systems, the custom musical instruments, and the pipe organ. She learns that standard property insurance often isn't enough for high-tech or mobile gear. To truly protect these items, the church needs a specialized endorsement. As Annie and I kept talking, we moved from the building to the people. She watched Pastor Mike walk down the hall, weary from a morning of crisis counseling. Annie realized that if a member felt that Mike's spiritual guidance caused them harm and decided to sue, the church's general liability policy would offer zero protection. We talked about how the church would need professional liability instead. Annie continues to thumb through the church's policy, and her eyes stop at a section labeled Exclusions. Not only does the church's general liability policy not cover the pastor's counseling sessions, but allegations of abuse are excluded as well. We explained to her that she needs a sexual abuse and molestation liability policy to protect the little ones in the Mother's Day Out program down the hall. Next, we move on to discuss the church's board members. They are volunteers, and most of them are not experts in corporate governance. This is where directors and officers' coverage comes in. It is designed to make sure that an honest mistake in a leadership decision doesn't result in a lawsuit that targets their personal family assets. Finally, we looked at Annie's computer. Between online tithing and storing records of 400 families, the church's digital footprint is huge. Cyber criminals know that religious organizations make easy targets. They lack the robust protection that a larger organization might have. We discuss with her how cyber liability provides a shield against the fallout from data breaches and ransomware attacks, things that can cripple a church's reputation and finances. After our conversation was finished, Annie hung up the phone, breathing a sigh of relief. If you are a church leader who finds themselves asking whether or not paying for church insurance is worth it, let's talk. Through our True Texas Church Insurance Program, we offer customized insurance solutions for Texas churches. We don't start with quotes, we start with questions. If you would like to work with a church insurance agency that takes the time to get to know you first, connect with our team at insurancefortexans.com. And if you would like to know more about church insurance in general, get a free copy of our book, The Promise of Certainty, at thepromiseofcertainty.com. I'm Ron Wadley, and this has been Faith, Stewardship, and Insurance Protecting Texas Churches. Until next time, remember, church insurance is worth paying for if you know what you are buying.
Thanks for listening to Faith, Stewardship, and Insurance. Until next time, remember, insurance isn't just about policies. It's about safeguarding the mission God has called you to lead.